Edge at 11 starts now.
Tonight on The Edge, hours after the 4th of July, a rowdy street takeover on Detroit's west side.
Hundreds gathered to light off fireworks and do donuts, ending with a car set on fire. Fox 2's Jessica Dupnack has more on how police plan to respond.
We're talking about almost 200 people taking over an intersection, completely paralyzing a Detroit neighborhood. They were shooting off fireworks at cars, even fire trucks, jumping on DDOT buses and causing all kinds of chaos.
It was extremely chaotic. It was almost riot level. They were shooting fireworks at cars, at passersby. They were threatening to shoot people.
A street takeover on Detroit's west side for an hour and a half. Detroit police say about 200 people packed the intersection of 7 Mile and Myers.
It's crazy to me that no one got killed. I mean, truly, look at what was going on.
Definitely. Alcohol and guns don't ever mix.
Stephen Erder lives a couple houses down from where it happened around 3 a.m. Sunday.
A group of people were jumping on top of the white Challenger that was set on fire, and then a group of people started to jump on the bus, and then they started shooting fireworks at the bus, throwing M80s at the bus.
3 people were arrested when Detroit police eventually assembled and responded.
We had to pull police cars from multiple precincts. You can't send one scout car into a crowd of 200 people and not put the officers at risk.
DPD's mobile field force put in place last summer after another illegal gathering on the city's east side where 21 people were shot, but their shift ends at 3 a.m.
It's becoming clear to the chief and me that these folks have figured out the mobile field force is going home at 3 o'clock and have adjusted their strategies.
Now that team will stay out until 5 a.m. Sources say these street takeovers draw crowds from the city and suburbs, and they organize on social media for social media.
They're not going to get no likes in the parking lot, but if they shut down 7 Mile, they will.
This time, Stephen cleaned up liquor bottles off the block. He says next time, he doesn't want it to be bodies.
Hopefully in the future, this is curtailed because it can potentially escalate into something far greater.
Another change that Mayor Mike Duggan announced on Monday is that any 911 call that comes in about a group of young people gathering is now a priority 1 call for Detroit police to respond even sooner. Reporting on Detroit's west side, Jessica Dupnack on The Edge.
Well, the man accused of shooting into a crowd just before the Ford fireworks show in downtown Detroit, now behind bars. Detroit police say they caught Alfonso Cooper Jr. this afternoon at a home in Washtenaw County. He spent the last 2 weeks on the run. His alleged accomplice has also been arrested. Police say a 17-year-old boy and 22-year-old woman were hurt when shots rang out near Randolph and Larned on June 23rd.
And that shooting marked the beginning of a vicious stretch of gun violence in the city. A 4-year-old boy and an 18-year-old boy were killed at a park on June 27th. 6 days later, a 16-year-old boy was killed after police say he shot an officer in the hand. And then this past weekend, officers say a 2-year-old was hit by a stray bullet while watching fireworks.
We don't want to have no more families screaming. We don't want to bury no more children. We don't want to see children incarcerated.
2024 plan was effective, but what we've seen in the last 30 days is that our problems have changed and our strategies have to change.
So let's talk about that strategy. Detroit police now planning to crack down on teen violence. You will see mobile units staying out until 5 in the morning. Catching curfew violators will be a top priority. There's also a proposal to have parents pay $250 and up to $500 if their children violate curfew. And there's a push to pass the Public Safety Trust Fund. Well, disturbing details about a violent bank robbery in Southfield.
Tonight, a bank employee continues to recover after being struck with a hatchet. Prosecutors have charged 22-year-old Blake Herring with robbery and assault with intent to murder. The alleged incident happened last week at the PNC Bank on Northwestern. Frightening video shows the moment Herring allegedly attacked an employee with a hatchet that Herring had just purchased at a nearby Meijer. Police say Herring got away with at least $2,000 before being caught just a short time later.
When I looked at the video, which is very disturbing, I believe that this individual who assaulted her really wanted to hit someone, had an intention on walking in a bank to hit someone. We get a really very sound case, as you see, and we do expect this individual to be held accountable for these crimes.
Herring's bond is set at $2 million. A Detroit man who is supposed to help turn troubled kids' lives around is accused of doing the exact opposite by giving them marijuana gummies.
So prosecutors say 22-year-old Joseph Robinson was working as a mentor at the Wayne County Juvenile Detention Center last Wednesday when he gave the weed gummies to 4 different detained teenagers. Workers say all the 17-year-olds had to be taken to the hospital after showing signs of impairment. Robinson is now facing 8 charges related to the incident.
Well, tonight, residents in Livonia speaking out about how their tax dollars should be spent.
Yeah, it all revolves around a proposed plan for a new police station, park, and library. Fox 2's Dave Spencer explains what's at stake during the August election.
Before the Livonia City Council meeting inside City Hall was called to order, those against a proposed millage were called to protest.
I feel this could have all been handled at a lot lower cost that would have gotten passed a lot quicker.
I'm not necessarily opposed to new development, but I do not believe what is proposed is what's right for the city.
The proposal is this: $150 million to build new police stations, renovate all fire stations, construct a new library, and build a park. According to LivoniaBuilt.org, which Livonia City Council members say outlines the proposal best, all of this works out to roughly $12 a month per household over 25 years.
I myself will be able to afford it, but I want to sit there and make sure that all residents in Livonia are equally able to afford it.
Some argue city leaders haven't proved they can manage money the best way possible.
When the maintenance standard is so low in so many other places in the city, to remove functioning buildings to replace them with something that perhaps the mayor thinks will be more aesthetically pleasing, it's hard to swallow.
Some concerns were also brought up inside the city council meeting on Monday.
And when you treat citizens like customers, you're always trying to sell them something.
So I would love for our fire departments to be taken care of, our police department to be taken care of, city hall, library. I am for all those things.
As for those elected leaders on the council, they say the issue has been researched since 2023 with a transparent process.
There's been 15 committee meetings over the last few years that speak to the Civic Center campus project.
And now it's out of the council's hands.
Whether you support it or don't support it, that's okay with me. Just go out and vote.
You have every right to go out there and voice however you want to voice that.
That election is set to take place on August 5th. Now, if the bond is approved by the voters, construction of a new police station and new library will start in 2028. In Livonia, Dave Spencer on The Edge.
Nearly 700 McLaren Macomb Hospital staff walking off the job and straight to the picket line. The 3-day strike comes after claims of low wages, stalled contract negotiation talks, and unsafe staffing. Even current treatment of support staff is under scrutiny after they claim they're being ignored.
These are the folks who draw your blood. They register you when you come into the hospital, and they sit with you when you're not safe to be alone. And these people are making poverty wages. Some of them qualify for Medicaid or for SNAP benefits. You shouldn't have to work 3 jobs to make ends meet.
The hospital released a statement which reads in part, the union's decision to take its members on strike is a truly regrettable development considering the hospital put forth an offer that includes a wage increase that creates a market-leading compensation package, nationally benchmarked staffing ratios, and qualified benefits.
Well, tonight we have some much-needed relief from all that heat.
Now, how long will it last? Weather Authority Rich Luderman can answer that for us. Rich, you always remind us when people complain about warm weather, just remember what Michigan's like in, November?
How about January? January, when we're walking around and the ground is frozen and the flurries and the wind chill. Whew, it's coming soon enough, Let me show you this quiet pattern over the central Great Lakes. Certainly some active weather from Minneapolis down to Omaha. That's not coming our way. But the front that we had crossing the region yesterday evening is now fizzling out here in New England. So we'll take quiet weather for tonight and tomorrow. You can see just some fair weather clouds for Detroit and Saginaw, Grand Rapids, down to Fort Wayne and Kalamazoo. But temperatures are down in many spots between 10 and 15 degrees from this time yesterday evening. So it is cooler out there, along with less humidity. Live pictures from the bridge looking good. 59 degrees at the bridge right now. There's a bit of September in the air up there. 77 and 67, your official high and low averages 84 and 64. Right now, most of us are dropping through the 60s, already down to 59 in Lapeer, 68 Windsor, 62 in Jackson, 64 up there in Pontiac. The breeze is very light, but it's turning more to the north and east, and that's bringing in that drier and cooler air as the dew points continue to fall off. Look at Traverse City right now, 59 degrees. Alpena as well. Tip of the thumb, Bad Axe, 57 degrees. So with high pressure building in, our weather stays quiet tonight and tomorrow. Wednesday brings a chance for some spotty storms as a weak system will cross the Great Lakes. For the rest of tonight, comfortable down to 63. Warm tomorrow, but very nice and dry. And then there it is, the 7-day forecast. Some spotty storms Wednesday and again for Saturday, Rupe and Amy. Another check at 4 a.m.
Thanks so much, Rich. A house explosion rocks an East Side Detroit neighborhood, killing a woman inside and leaving another man in critical condition.
It happened Saturday afternoon, and the cleanup continued today. Fox News' Charlie Langton has more from neighbors who saw the whole thing unfold.
This is what's left of the home on McCormick Street on the city's east side just 2 days after an explosion leveled the home and officials confirm took the life of a woman and sent the male occupant to the hospital where he remains in critical condition.
We was in the house eating watermelon, and next thing you know, it shook the whole house.
Crews on Monday cleaning up the debris and preparing to level the houses on each side destroyed by Saturday's explosion.
Man, like, what is this world like coming to nowadays, you know? And it's just crazy.
It came through here and hit the window and cracked our window.
Stephanie Gunn lives across the street, and yes, her window was damaged, but Saturday when she heard the explosion, she knew her neighbors were in there.
I saw the car there and I just automatically went into motion, help, somebody is in there.
She said the neighbors, a brother and sister, had lived there for many years, but mostly kept to themselves.
And I was just in the street with the water hose putting out what I could put out.
Sad, but she tried. Monday, water being put on the debris to prevent any spread of asbestos, while investigators from the Detroit Fire Department are still trying to determine the cause of the explosion, but at this point, it does not seem to be criminal.
And it's real sad.
You tried to save them with your hose.
With my water hose.
You're a hero.
I was doing what I could do. You can call it what you want to call it, but I was just doing what I could do.
On Detroit's east side, Charlie Langton, Fox 2 News.